Welcome to Retirement Today. I'm your co-host, Zach Holcomb, and alongside me we have Michael Reese. He's a certified financial planning professional, and he spent the last 20-plus years specializing in the world of retirement planning, helping families get into and through retirement. We're back here on Retirement Today, but before we get started on today's show, Mike, how have you been? I'm
all excited. So I'm geeked today, Zach.
What's on your mind? What are you so excited about?
Here's the deal. I mean, we know Christmas is coming up.
It is.
I'm done. I've done everything. I bought everything for Christmas. I haven't, normally I'm the guy, like the day, like Christmas Eve, or maybe the day before Christmas Eve. I'm in all the stores, like freaking out. I got to get something for my wife, Becky. Not this year. This year, I'm done. And I feel so proud of myself.
Hey, good for you. Pat on the back, right?
Are you done?
Maybe. Hope nobody else is listening that knows.
Anyway, so I'm in a happy mood.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Well, hey, I think we got a great show on our hands today. I know our listeners are pretty pumped. You told me before the show you wanted to talk a little bit about kind of who we are, what we do, who we serve, and how that's important to our listeners.
Yeah, that's right. So, Zach, I think one of the things that we don't talk about enough is, kind of what do we really do at our firm, and who do we serve, and why do we do it? And I'm just going to hit a couple of those real quickly, right? So the first is, what do we do? So as you're listening in the car, you probably think financial advisors, they're all the same, right? They dress the same, they talk the same, they look the same. It's like they're these little robots, that are printed out in some financial advisor factory, right?
They're 3D printed.
They're all, that's right. My son has a 3D printer now, by the way. It's
those
really
are cool. Yeah.
Anyway, what we do is we really focus on retirement planning, and we do comprehensive planning for retirement. And, you like to say it all the time, Zach. What's your favorite line?
An investment plan? That's not a retirement plan.
That's exactly it. Investing is certainly part of retirement planning, but it is just that, a part of retirement planning.
Just one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, so when you ask, hey, Mike, what do you guys do? We do comprehensive retirement planning. Well, what does that mean? That means we help our clients with their money issues, which is investing part of it, but also income planning. By the way, it could be said that income planning is retirement planning. And one of the things that I think is missed way too often is, when we talk to people, they don't have an income plan. And, as you're listening, think about that. Do you have an income plan? Well, if you don't have an income plan, one that takes into account your Social Security, pensions, maybe rental income, when are you going to take money from your portfolio, your retirement accounts or your after-tax money? And is your money generating enough income, to make sure that you're plugging your income gaps? If you don't have an income plan that's really easy to understand, guess what? You don't have a retirement plan. It's that simple. So that's money questions. We help them with their tax planning. And, everybody wants to pay less tax if they can legally, right?
Sure.
Well, except for like 3 people listening to us right now.
Never met one of those 3 people.
Yeah, well, I've met them. I don't think I can help them. Anyway, and then you've got risk management. And what is risk management? Well, what happens if the market either collapses or goes sideways for a period of time? Are you still going to be okay? What about risk of healthcare? You die too soon or you get sick along the way. What if inflation goes crazy? Right now, inflation's going crazy. Well, not really crazy compared to other countries, but to us, it's going crazy. Well, if that's temporary, great. But what if it's not? What if it's more long-term? Those are risks. So your money, your taxes, your risk management, you need to have all of those areas covered to have a well-coordinated retirement plan. So what do? We do comprehensive retirement planning that handles all of that stuff, right? And then the next question I always like to talk about is, who do we serve, right? Because I think sometimes people think, oh, you're a financial firm, you only want to talk to people that have like lots of money.
Right.
And lots of money being defined as, I don't know, $5 million or more or something.
Millions.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, millions. Or what do they say in Austin Powers?
$1 billion?
Yeah, it was like $1 million.
Yeah.
And like Dr. Evil. Think you want to bump that up a little bit? Anyway, the point is we serve primarily middle class and upper middle class families. Like that's who we serve. And so typically the clients we serve, they might have anywhere from, say, 250,000 that they're working with, all the way up to maybe 5 million. You start getting below 250, there's not a lot we can do. You start getting over 5 million, things start getting a little more complicated. Our sweet spot is really that range of assets. It's middle class and upper middle class families, right? That's who we serve. And the reason that we do it, and I'm going to share some stories on the show today, but here's why we serve that group of people. I have learned over 25 plus years in this industry that, and I see it over and over again, the same thing's happening over and over. The financial industry as a whole does a really, really bad job servicing these people. I mean, like a really bad job. All they want to do is talk about investing money. All they want to really talk about is growth and accumulation. And I see the exact same mistakes happening over and over and over.
Right, because they're doing the exact same things for all of these people.
Yeah, here's a great example, by the way. So I want you to think about my parents.
Okay.
When my mom and dad retired back in 1999, and at the time they had some pension and Social Security, but my parents had $300,000 saved for retirement. It's all now. My dad, middle class guy, worked for State Farm, claims adjuster, great values. They raised 4 children, put us all through college, and when they retired, he had about $300,000 in his 401k. But guess what? That was plenty, because what did he need for income? About $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year, 4%, right? So what does the big financial industry tell him to do? Say, oh, we've got this solved. We know exactly what you should do. You should put your money into 60% stocks and 40% bonds.
A classic diversified portfolio.
That's right. Very well said, Zach. A classic diversified, balanced portfolio. By the way, if you have that portfolio, that is not a very good portfolio for retirement. You're about to find out why. So they do it. They're like, okay, 60-40, that's what we will do. And the first year in retirement is 1999. The market's up like 20% or something. Everything's working great. And it's like, oh, this is awesome. Retirement's lovely. We took our $12,000 out. Our accounts grew. Retirement is easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
But then the dot-com crash happened, and we had 2000, 2001, 2002. In that 3-year period, the stock market was down roughly 50%. My parents, who started with $300,000, remember, they're only taking out $12,000 a year. By the time they hit the end of 2002, basically 4 years into retirement, their accounts were down below 150 grand. They lost over half of what it took their entire lives to save. I mean, think about that. It took my dad 30 plus years to save that $300,000. And in 4 short years, half of it was gone. And at that point, what do they have to do? They have to start taking less income. In fact, they stopped taking it altogether, right? Because they're worried they're going to run out of money, which if they kept taking $1,000 a month, they would have run out of money. But they're like, holy cow, we got to tighten our belt. My dad's thinking, man, do I have to go back to work? Like, sleepless nights, money, stress about money. They were freaking out. And guess what? They and everybody else. See, here's the problem. A balanced portfolio of 60% stocks and 40% bonds, that's a great portfolio to grow and accumulate without too much volatility. But if you're trying to live off of it in retirement, it is dead in the water. It only works when markets are good, not when markets are bad. And guess what, folks? That just ain't good enough, as my dad would say. Now, here's the thing. We're coming up against a break, so I want to make sure I share this with all of you. So Zach and I, we've opened up some time on the calendar. If you're sitting there, you're like, holy cow, I've got that 60-40 balanced portfolio. I've got between $250,000 and $5 million saved for retirement, which is probably a lot of you. And you might be wondering, are you doing the right things for your retirement? Well, we've opened up some time. I want you to give us a call on our number. We've opened up some time. And what we're doing, we're happy to talk to you. We've opened up 10 spots on the calendar where you can call in and look, just ask us, tell us what's your most pressing financial concern. Let's get a second opinion on what you're doing with your retirement planning. It's very easy, right, Zach? It all starts with like a 15-minute phone call, right?
You got it. Yeah, Mike, it's super easy. You can just give us a call at 512-886-5850. Again, that's 512-886-5850. Now, it's after hours. You're going to get our answering service, and they're just going to ask your name, your number, and a good time for us to give you a call back. It's that easy.
Yeah, and really it all starts, like I said, quick and easy 15-minute phone call. And in that phone call, all you do is you share, hey, here's what I'm worried about in retirement with my planning. And, hey, guess what? We might be able to help answer some questions for you right then and there. Or it might require a more in-depth discussion. If that's the case, we just schedule a time to do that. And the best part is it's free. It doesn't cost you a dime, right? So why wouldn't you do that? It's easy. The easiest path to a complete retirement plan is to just give us a call. That's where it all starts. Let's make sure you're making the right decisions. Let's get that second opinion. Again, it's 512-886-5850. It's Christmas time. I wish I could sing a jingle, but I don't have a voice for singing. But there it is, 512-886-5850. 10 spots. That's all we got. First 10 callers get them. It's that simple. Call now. All right, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, I'm going to tell you this great story about my grandparents that really describes everything that we're talking about here. We'll be right back.